suspend your warehouse after 10 minutes, because if you are running your warehouse nothing but you switch it on your powerful set of computers. So if you do that, and your credits will be taken, right? That's why automatically, so they will be shut down after 10 minutes. But if the new query comes in, automatically they will resume their work. That's how it works. So we have seen databases, we have seen shades, and we have seen data marketplaces, not in depth, but just a definition. We have seen warehouses, then worksheets. Worksheet is so important area. Worksheet is a developer area. So you will see all the schemas available, databases available, and tables available in the left side. In the middle portion, he will be writing the queries. Select star from call center. So he will be writing the complex queries as well. You can create multiple worksheets, right? And so you can add multiple worksheets, but these queries will not be erased automatically, right? And these will be persisted in their system. So when you close the session, when you opens tomorrow, these queries will be appearing in the worksheet section. Then history. So history, whatever activities you do in the Snowflake, that will be promptly captured. So if you see the last one, I executed a query, select star from employee, some query I have executed. See what compute is used, what warehouse is used, which user executed, right? And what SQL text we fired from the worksheet. And so the query ID is a unique ID will be created for every action. And session ID will be created, and start time, end time, and total duration, how much duration the query ran, 1.4 seconds it ran. So now how many rows it got extracted, like one row it got extracted, like that. So you can, if you want to see more, and just click on this one, you can see the exact internal query what they are executing. I mean, it is so detailed. So if someone is executing something, or some programs, incoming programs are dumping the data, you would be seeing what are all the queries are executed, what is happening, and how much time the query is executing, and which warehouse it is created. Typically in the in the enterprises, we will create multiple warehouses. So that's the history. So databases, shares, and data marketplace, warehouses, worksheets, so important. We have seen the history. Then the account. So I already explained PJ29211 is my account ID, and it shows the my usage thing. So I have two warehouses, and I have used 0.17 credits already. So Partner Connect, this DBT is one of the application will work along with the Snowflake to enable the CI/CD for the Snowflake. Example, in the DBT, you can easily write the queries, you can easily create the tables, you can easily create the views in a scripting way. You don't need to write the queries. You can write the YAML script. Those YAML script will create the queries and all the schemas. So in a CI/CD way. So similarly, we have other partners, right? Stream is another very close partner, or like efficient partner with the Snowflake. What I have seen, like so, it is kind of a data engineering tool, and you can store millions of the data with the streams. So documentation you can find out in the help section. You can see all the documentation links, and the download section is also so important. So CLI client, so where you can execute your Snow SQLs, like SQL, which is written for the Snowflake or the Snow SQL. So for that, you can download the CLI client and you execute them. And also, if you see the Python components, you can install the Python Snowflake connector. So using the Python code, you can directly inject the data into Snowflake, or you can retrieve the data from the Snowflake, or you can execute the logics from the Python. We mostly see the CLI client and the Python components in our further sections. So what else? And we have notifications. Notifications are like for you. You have to go to the settings and you have to enable billing notifications and etc. I'm going to this section, account admin section. So you have a change password option. You can change the password, and you have switch roles. So now by default, you get these roles: account admin, organization admin, public role, and security admin role, system admin role, user admin role. So if you see, these are all the admin areas. But in general, if you are working as a developer, you don't see admin roles. You will be having your specific roles. Let's say, for example, if the organization is the bigger organization, if the sales team is different, supply chain team is different, marketing is different, and warranty or services team is different, they would be having different roles. Only services team can see the services related tables, services related data. Supply chain team can see only supply chain related data. That sort of the specific roles we will be creating here, and we will be giving the right access to the right tables. So that we will be seeing in the further sessions. Topic was leftover, so we'll see the account now. So account usage we have seen, and the billings we have not added any card because it's a trial account. Users. So right now, so my user ID is Vishwanath009. So I'm a super user. I'm an account admin. I have created this trial account, but you can create another user as well. All right. Usually, we don't use this system administration, account administration users. We will be creating the users. For example, I can create a user called a sales technical developer. So this maybe I can create a user called Mike, and I can assign his role. So before going to the users, I think I have to explain the roles. So these are all the default roles which comes up. So but you can create another role. So role could be sales user, supply chain user, but inside the sales and you can create a different role, right? One is a technical developer who develops the code or who can write the SQL statement. One is sales actual business user. He don't need to access the coding layers, and he should be accessing only prepared data, raw data and prepared data. So if you're little confused about this two terminology, so let's go to a different topic. Assume this is Salesforce. Okay, this is Oracle, and we have Workday, and these are all the different systems. So now you have your own Snowflake system, and they will send the data every day, or maybe as soon as they change the data in their system, they'll send the data. Right? So now what data will come in and how the data will be used. So you can usually, so data warehousing system, we call it as, ETL process, right? Extraction, transformation, and loading. Extraction is the data extraction from the Salesforce, and do the transformation, then the load data. That is the traditional approach. But the modern data warehousing won't use the ETL, rather they use the ELT process. Extraction, load and transform. So now extraction is common where you get the data, but before putting into the data and do the transformation and load the data, or it's a reverse, right? ELT, extract and load it. That's it. Just take and store the data, then do the transformation, and then expose the data. So this is the ELT process. Snowflake recommends the ELT process, right? So we create a landing zone tables where those tables are used, taking the data from external sources and dumping the data. For example, Salesforce is having a opportunity object. Salesforce is having a lead object. Salesforce is having an account object. Just take the data as soon as the change sensed and keep in the first layer, or the landing zone tables. We call it as in the industry we use a terminology called replication layer. So the first layer is the replication layer. We just take the data, we dump into the replication layer. So now So that it's a raw data, right? You sometimes you may not see the data. For example, when you combine the lead data, when you combine the opportunity data, and when you see the account data, then only you will see, oh, these are all the leads. These are converted into accounts. That's the meaning will come with the combination of these objects. So in the raw data layer or the replication layer, you don't see the meaning. Rather, you would be seeing just a data dumping. But the transformation layer, you have to write an intelligent program based on your business, based on your company. In your company, lead and account is so related based on one attribute called X. Write that join in the transform layer, then you build the meaning out of it. So, for example, in the transformation layer, you can get the meaning like this one. How many accounts are successfully created in the last quarter? So that's sort of the meaning you will get once you write the transformation layer, the second layer. And the third layer is the repo layer, repository layer. Repository layer is simply and keep that meaning, keep that data answer available for the external systems. Let's say, for example, how many accounts are successfully created in the last quarter. So this data you want to give only to your CTO or your CTO organization, no one else. So you create a repository layer, repository object for that in this layer and give the access to only CTO organization, no one else. So that's why this is one of the layered approach, right? And you can follow different approaches as well, but this is one of the approach Snowflake uses. Replication layer, transformation layer, and the repository layer. To repeat, replication layer stores the raw data. The sources data will come into the replication layer. Let's say, for example, you can use a Java program to get the data. You can use a stream program. I explained in the last, the session. Stream can bring the data, large volumes of the data in very split second and stores into the Snowflake. Or you can write a Python program to get the data out. Or you can write the Spark also to get the data and store into the Snowflake or whatever, a simple Python or you can write the SQL program as well. But the data goes to where? Replication layer. Then meanings will be written based on your business, based on your company in the transformation layer. The person who is writing the transformation should understand what is the problem statement is addressing. How many accounts successfully created in the last quarter? How much sales happened in the Asia Pacific region in the last year? So that's sort of the model preparation you would be doing in the transformation layer. In the repository layer, it doesn't do anything. So repository layer will be a access layer to your customer, your business people. So this is the layered approach. Going back to our roles, so you create a role for your repository layer where only CTO organization or your COI organization can access particular views, particular prepared views. No one else. Create that role here and give that add the users into that role. That's it. You will be giving this role. So there are three things, right? You have a table, end of the day, or view, and you are creating a role and you are adding the users to that role. So now these four things are important. Account admin, so this area, account area, this area, and compute area, select database area, select schema area. You already know what is this one. This is a role, right? And I already explained in the previous section. This is a compute. What compute I have selected? I have only one compute with the trial version. I have selected compute WH. It is extra small, right? Then I have selected database and selected schema. You know the database schema table. This is the 3-level hierarchy, right? So now this is the screen where we are. So, but right now I'm using this role account admin, or I can use the sysadmin also. I'm making a roles change to sysadmin. Okay, let me go back to sysadmin, not from account admin. So I'm making sysadmin. So compute WH is needed. I have only one warehouse. So I don't have two database